What's good? I'm Kinell, and this is Sinister Cinema, where we get deep into the guts of the stranger side of cinema. Just letting you know with this little bit at the start that we now have a Patreon. Sub up to that and you can get all these episodes early and ad-free, so you won't even see this bit at the start. You get them a few days before the main episodes drop out. We've got some great guests coming up. We've got some studio episodes. We've got some Zoom episodes with some fantastic rappers talking about the films they love and the films that influenced them. We got a lot going on there. Plus, you get some bonus content like film reviews, all that kind of thing. I don't need to explain this to you. You know what a Patreon is. But yeah, it's patreon.com/Kinell Sinister Cinema. So check that out. Peace. Yes, people. What's good? I'm Kinell, and this is Sinister Cinema, where we get deep into the guts of the stranger side of cinema. Kinell Sinister Cinema is brought to you by Forgotten Sons Apparel. Check them out at forgottensonsapparel.co.uk. Forgotten Sons Apparel is a York-based streetwear brand drawing inspiration from alternative culture, tattoos, film, classic TV and cartoons from our childhood. In our own words, if you like our stuff half as much as we do, then we like it twice as much as you. I'm a big fan of this brand and I love the guys who make it. They've supported me for years, way before I was podcasting. They supported me in my battle rap career. You might have seen me rocking some of their garms on Don't Flop and other leagues. I love Forgotten Sons Apparel and I'm urging you all to check them out at forgottensonsapparel.co.uk. Right, now on with the show. Is right. Mr. Always had a buzz of every rhyme I wrote and everybody wanna know me like the Wi-Fi code. Kinell himself, I'm back. Yeah, we're on the weekly uploads thing. I'm putting it together and we made it to August. Mad thing. It's obviously Fright Fest month, so I'm going to be down there at the end of the month. And flipping, if you're going to be about, check, flipping, make sure you say hi. We'll grab a drink. I will 100% be missing the start of all the films by 10 minutes and saying, fuck it. I'm just going to post up in the Imperial for the next time and end up watching 2 films the whole blood clot weekend. But nonetheless, I am at Fright Fest. I will be around for that. So if you're there, say hi. That's the end of the month. And if you're in London, August Bank Holiday weekend, and you're not really feeling Fright Fest, I'm going to be nipping off out west. I can't remember where. It'll be somewhere out west. Hulk's doing it, so it's always out west. There's a little Don't Flop training days type tryout event going on. I said I'd pop down and do a little battle, like a little short rounds thing. Expect a lot of freestyling because I can't be arsed right in 3 full rounds. But nonetheless, I'll be battling Raz Ren there. So you can catch me for free somewhere in fucking West London. I'll check before the next podcast. So yeah, that's that one. As for battles, me and Danny Jack is out on Don't Flop right now. So go and watch that. And if you hit up the Iron Media group, which is the media wing of Iron Bar's Patreon, you can check me versus Mellow D. That was a banger. But yes, as I say, we're back to the weekly uploads. It's one of them, like, because obviously, like, flipping it, it's going to be a very the end of the month is going to be fucking strongly horror based, you know, because we got Fright Fest. I'm going to be watching a lot there. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I'm going to be hassling a lot of people to get on the pod, so we're going to be going. So, like, end of the month up through to Halloween, it's going to be getting seriously horror movie based around here. So I'm having a bit of a chilled one in the room. Oh, yeah. And don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/Kinell. Just hit 50 followers today. So hopefully I can get that shit monetized soon. But you know, August 18th, we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game dropping. I booked the blood clot day off work, mate. I am going to figure out these controls. And I'm going to be streaming a load of that shit. So I'm having a couple of weeks off for horror. And what I'm doing with the pod, like we had old Danny Jack, Xander Gray on last week, I'm just pulling on people I want to catch up with and have a chat with. And here's someone I haven't seen in ages. It is an empty chair. With
Fuck, I overshot that. Shit, I was meant to stop that. Hang on. Have I timed it? Yes, that's double work. That's a 360 or something. That was at a 540. I'm Kick Nelly. Can't time stuff for shit, aka Nick Kelly. And how you doing? How you doing, Kinell?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Before we start, we had a quick chat. You had a bit of a hot sauce incident.
Yeah, basically, I just overloaded the sandwich and I paid for it. I burnt my tongue. You know, I'd say it's probably only a 250 Scoville, but you know, I was feeling it. It felt like 500, and yeah, I'm over it now. I've got my coffee in my definitely not stolen Starbucks mug.
I use stolen Starbucks mugs, man. I've got fucking 5 of them here. Fucking what should we call it? It's the equivalent of like what this pint glass I'm drinking out of isn't technically stolen because we ran the pub at the time. We just took a box of them home.
Well, I live in Cambridge, and what you pay, the way I look at it, I'm buying the fucking glass as well. So
this is it. It's a very British thing to have glassware and mugs that are stolen from establishments, isn't it? Mugs are a more recent thing.
Yeah. Glassware is great, although I need to replace my Heineken one. The Ouija's going a bit, and you know, it's not lasting anymore.
The Ouija, you've summoning spirits with a motherfucker.
Yeah, bubble spirits, carbonated spirits.
Oh, the little scratchy bit at the bottom to sort of create the bubbles.
Yeah, it's called a Ouija. Definitely not putting any spirits in the Ouija though. Fuck me, I've made that mistake before.
Yeah, I think we all have. That's another thing you can check out. What's called? Oh, shout out TD9 Games. I was watching some of my old battles back of him, and we watched the shots battle from the start of the year. Fucking nearly 30 shots of vodka in 10 minutes. It fucking hurt.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. I got 3 rounds out though, man. Like I got 3 rounds out clean. Like, and fucking, I never get 3 rounds out clean, no matter how sober I am. I haven't tried it sober many times, but it's a rare thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm usually the next morning. That's when I usually battle rap. I don't battle rap drunk, but I think 90% of mine have been on a hangover.
Yeah, flipping that. That's it. Like, you know, fucking, you know, you think like, oh, I'll go out Friday and then Saturday's the thing, but it's fucking Saturday dinner time. You're battling and all this, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is as well, I like to do what's called drunken prep. So to make sure that I'm fully confident, what I'll do is I will just, the Friday before or the Thursday, because I battled on some Fridays, I will just progressively get more drunk throughout the day. And if I could still remember my rounds by 9 o'clock, I've got them locked. The only thing is the next morning when you got to be up at bloody 9 in the morning to get a train, you're paying for it.
Yeah, I've certainly been through that one on many an occasion. Like, but this is it. If you're going to perform drunk, you have to practice drunk. Like, I try not to on the day before now. Like, flipping. If I memorized on Thursday, blackout drunk, then it's one of those. Like, I've accepted. Like, I've hit this stage of accepting that anything that I haven't got completely locked by Thursday isn't going to be locked on Friday, so I just don't bother trying. I just accept that this part of the battle is going to be freestyle.
Yeah, I'm not that bad, to be fair. I've learned stuff on Friday. I've written around on the plane before, which I wish I hadn't, but you know, that was painful.
Yeah, flipping writing and memorizing. It's 2 different sides of the brain, man. Like, fucking, like, trying to get them both moving at the same time is fucking, it don't work for me, man.
No, well, the memorizing part was fairly easy. Like, I've got a very, like, analytical sort of, I've just got a very good memory, and, you know, I can look at something and then remember it and commit that to memory. But the writing part really suffered there. You know, I just literally wrote the worst 16 bars I could come up with on, you know, the 45-minute flight to Ireland, and came and spat them. You know, I'd never do that again. I wish I had choked, to be honest with you.
This is it. Like, fucking, you can always write bars, but you can't guarantee that you're going to have your best ideas, like, at the last minute, like.
No.
Because that's the thing, like, fucking, I always spit 3 rounds, even if I haven't written 3 rounds. But I've got a lot of experience in doing that. But, like, that's it, like, fucking, like, you know, it's like, one of the worst things that happens when you start off battling is fucking, you have a proper dead late prep one, and you fucking body the cunt. Because after that, that's the end of your ability to prep early. It's gone from then on in.
That is real
work.
That's it. You know, I beat Black T writing a week from the battle. I beat Tidal writing a week from the battle. And I'm trying to get myself out of this habit. I mean, I've got a battle in 3 weeks now, and I've still haven't, you know, really committed to it. And I had the dream.
Yeah.
I had the dream. And I still bodied him in the dream. So
yeah,
it makes a change for once.
Yeah. Flipping. For those who aren't familiar, like, there's a dream that every battle rapper has at some point, where they turn up to their battle and they don't have bars. We all have it. It's this universal thing. I've spoken to people in America, Canada, Australia, Ireland, Scotland, flipping Copenhagen, all over the fucking world. Every battle rapper has had this dream at some point. And the only way to stop it, and I can tell you this from experience, is to live it.
In what regards? The actual choking or turning up with nothing written?
Turning up with nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've turned up with 66%, and that, like I said, that was bad. You know, I've never choked, touch wood, but I don't. You know, I wish I had. You know, there you go. I was going to ask, do you find when you drink while battling, do you find that affects your like actually drinking in the battle?
What you call it? I'm happy drinking in the battle, like, but my problem is like when I get to a venue is like fucking. I experimented for the first time with sparkling water in what you call it? Fucking Glasgow the other week, because my problem is I can like fucking. I'm going to drink a large quantity of whatever I'm drinking. So if I'm not on till late, it's going to be a large quantity of beer. And I tried drinking water. And when you're drinking it at pints rate, like fucking, it's long drinking fucking tap water when you're on your 5th pint. And fucking like, then you go into the bog constantly and you think, fuck, am I going to get through this battle? Like, even if I have a piss before it and like not be needing a piss. And you get weird anxiety for that. So water's never worked for me. And you can't drink pint after pint of fucking soft drink. But I tried like fucking soda water with ice because I've been getting into that recently. And fucking, that might be the one.
I tell you what, it goes well with a shot of blackcurrant.
Yeah. That's what I've been drinking at home. But like fucking, like, you know, I'm just like having something like that's fuck all calories to drink while I'm in there. Like,
yeah, that's probably the best thing. Like I said the same thing. I had this pissing anxiety with battling, and you know, the other thing I find is I can't drink beer before a battle. I'll drink Guinness, but that gets me too heavy and I like the moving up. But I've noticed, I think I was battling Bard, and it's throughout my 3rd round. I literally have to re-up the bit because I'm necking a pint throughout the battle and just the gaseous build up.
Yeah.
You're on the 4th bar, you're about to drop the 4th bar and having to run it back. And I think I did that against Leicester as well. And it's embarrassing on the watch back. And I'm not a fan of pints in the battle.
Yeah, fucking gas can get you. I suppose that might be well, I'm obviously not fucking drinking no fucking sparkling water while I'm battling, but I suppose that could be a fucking thing. But yeah. So like fucking, I first met you when we were doing COVID battles under a bridge in Manchester. I battled lsdean and you were battling some weird guy who isn't around now. Fucking, and back then you were quite new to the scene, and that was you did a couple of events with Beast Anglia, which is your brand you started, and that's like not around now. So what's going on with that?
Well, Beast Anglia, essentially it isn't what it was. You know, Beast Anglia wasn't started as like part of. I mean, for the uninitiated, battle rap is a very niche culture with a lot of almost gatekeeping. I believe, you know, it's very, I don't want to say judgment, but you know, it's like defined parameters of what battle rap is and what good battle rap is. And usually it's the same group of fans that watch and attend most events.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of that I didn't know about it. I didn't understand it when I founded Beast Anglia. Beast Anglia was, hey, we used to watch a load of King of the Dot and stuff like that back in the day. And we ran little music events and people battled, and it was his own thing. And as I got more involved in the battle scene, sort of they bled over.
Yeah.
We were going well, but what happened was we had lockdown. Lockdown really fucked us because we had a couple of big events, and Georgie and I used to run it with Georgie Roots. We both got our fingers burned. We both got very jaded in terms of booking, scheduling events for it, just to fall through. I think we had you against Yunnan at one point.
Yeah. Fucking that was like what we call it, like another lockdown came in like just before.
Yeah, and that was absolutely, that was, I think that was a nail, not to say, not to speak for him, but that was almost a nail in Georgie's coffin, in terms of, I think he started at that point thinking, what am I getting out of this? I kept it going for a bit longer. We had a couple of events after that, but by that point, our original crop had got bored.
It was mainly local guys, wasn't it? Like
it was local guys, and it's what I liked about it. We had our own scene, we had our own fans, we had our own battlers. It was different. It was something new. It was something unique to the people who watched it. Perhaps some of the battle fans who'd watch it would say, oh, it's not necessarily as good as what you'd see on Premier Battles, Don't Flop, or any of the other leagues, but it was fun, it was enjoyable. And as time went on, it became less and less of that. And it came to the point where essentially, it just became, no disrespect to Dub Scandal, but it just felt like that. It just felt like the sort of bush league of battle rap when it was supposed to be, and not to say because Dub Scandal created lots of talent, but it became that place where instead of having our own cool talent pool, it was battlers who couldn't get booked anywhere were hitting me up,
Yeah.
And I was,
it's as soon as like it hits the internet, and then suddenly it's a part of like internet battle rap shit instead of fucking being like something that goes on in
live performance.
I mean, it's been many a year since I've even heard of like events with no cameras. Like, okay, that's what used to happen. Like, I used to get booked in fucking like places where it wouldn't be filmed, and it'd be fucking great because I could reuse the bars.
Tell me about it. But actually, speaking of that, what we have done recently and what we did last Thursday is there's a couple music events on in Cambridge and Hertfordshire and sort of like this neck of the woods. And I've been holding a couple, I held a showcase battle and there's a couple more to come. So it's just a big event. It was sort of like last Thursday, it was in Cambridge. It was a big sort of like battle of the bands almost sort of thing, except with rappers. And we had a showcase battle. It was just a one rounder between Cooper, who you're obviously familiar with, and a guy called the Exquisite Max Tatum, who you're probably not familiar with.
I've seen his name.
His name is about, but it was great. It was great. It was a fun back and forth battle. The audience were really into it. They're pissing themselves at every bar, reacting to, every serious bar, and everyone had a great time. And that's given me, the itch again to run events. But, I want to run events in that sort of way where it's fun and with, our own unique audience and talent crop. Not to say that people from the main battle rap continuum aren't excluded from that, but I sort of almost want to be over here doing it. I want to be the Smashing Pumpkins to the Guns N' Roses and all that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's what's so great about Scottish battle rap, because it's fucking like Scottish battle rap like does exist in its own sphere. There's a lot of fucking talent in there that just don't battle anywhere else. It's just for Glasgow, and like maybe there's something in Edinburgh or Perth or something. And it's just its own scene, and like fucking like it'll mostly be like decent local artists that'll be because they've got a good rap scene. It's people from their rap scene meeting and battling generally.
Yeah, I find that to be, just as equally enjoyable as, the other things. If anything, sort of, I prefer stuff like that as a viewer sometimes, because I just find that to be a lot more entertaining, because I've noticed, especially in my own writing, there comes a point where, and I don't know, I think as performers, we have to overcome it. There comes a point where you start writing for the audience and writing to be good.
Yeah.
Instead of writing, to be fun, what you would personally enjoy.
This is the thing, because Premier Battles, fucking fantastic. They do great stuff, big events and all this kind of thing. But because everything's always been like tournaments, specific format, and like in tournaments, you've got to go through to the next round. Like you can't fuck around experimenting, because if the experiment doesn't work, you've just lost your next 3 battles. So like fucking. I think if people are like, sort of like evolving, like growing up through Premier Battles, then fucking you're going to end up becoming really good at getting a judge decision on Premier Battles, but not necessarily so much experimenting.
Yeah.
Experimenting is what I like to do.
Yeah, and this is what I find, sometimes, and it's still good and I still enjoy it. And I watch some battlers and it's just like, right, who's got the most comprehensive writing, who's got the best metaphors, who's got the best similes, who's got the best alliteration. And sometimes I think you're developing a great set of battle rap and rapping skills, but this isn't something that I'm just not enjoying it. I can appreciate it, but I can't enjoy it all the time, But with that being said, though, I've noticed that there has been a shift in the paradigm a bit, especially with some of the newer battlers coming through, or some of the old battlers who are beginning to establish themselves. The Coopars, the Grazzers, the Kingsley Funders, the Gas Buffs.
Yeah, I do feel like there's like more acceptance coming around. I mean, like I battled Grazzer in like 2016. He hasn't really changed his style, but it's only really now that people are listening to him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say that, like, I noticed that, like, fucking people are very shouty with the delivery on Premier Battles. Everyone evolves that way. Like, fucking, even Rivers is quite shouty with it, and he used to be the super chilled out fucking like fucking I don't have to be aggressive because like my fucking words are nice guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think that's just battle rap in general, sort of.
I think it does particularly work on Premier Battles, that style. Well, that's like a lot of the fans that they built have been attracted to that style. So because there's like a large group of fans that have been attracted to a style, like, you're going to skew into performing and writing that way because it gets the biggest reaction out of the fans, and that's what you're trying to do, particularly if it's a judge battle.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I'm very guilty of that myself. I'm very, very loud sometimes with my delivery, sometimes too loud. And that is almost for me, it's a case of monkey see, monkey do. You watch stuff, you watch battles, and you watch, on whatever your source is, and you see what works, and then you subconsciously emulate that within your writing, within your delivery. And this is something I'm trying to get away from now. I'm trying to just be more myself and not be what I think I should be.
Yeah, fucking I fucking like fucking I'm back to enjoying battling how I did when I started 2015, 2016 again. And it's because I'm not aiming for anything. I'm not in any tournaments. I'm not fucking trying to like be fucking top 20. I'm not trying to fucking do this so I could just be a fucking like I don't know if you've seen the Danny Jack battle, but I thought like, right, I'm just gonna do a load of shit that fucking no one else would do just because I'm the only cunt that did it. Like, And fucking like, you know, I thought everyone else who battles Danny Jack, they've got to have a, yeah, you're a cunt for what should we call it, stealing this charity money. I'm like, no, I'm doing a compliment round about it.
I've got to see this battle, man. I've got so much to fight. I'm so behind on battles. Like, I think I'm in January at the moment. I'm trying to keep up with all the leagues, and
that's difficult, man. Fucking, if you get to the point when you fucking like can't keep up with everything, then fucking forcing yourself to watch it, you're not gonna get the enjoyment out of it. Trust me, I've been there. Like fucking, like there was like I went about a year without watching a battle on YouTube. Fucking like, because I just made myself sick of it.
But this is why I'm so far behind, because I only watch battles when I'm really in the mood to watch something. You know, I don't force myself to watch it, because like I said, if you've just got it on in the background, or you feel compelled to do something, or feel compelled to pursue any interest, whether it's watching, battling, playing video games, it becomes work and not, you know, pleasure and escapism, which is why we do these things. We watch movies, we read books. You know, the moment you try and optimize something, you just take the enjoyment out of it. And I've been there, and I've got a really bad habit of doing it with everything, you know, series, albums, books, you know, movies, battle rap, the gym, you know. And when that starts to happen, then that shift from I'm doing this because I want to I'm doing it because I feel like this inner compulsion to do it, then I take a step back and, you know, stop completely. And so much fucking happier as a result. My OCD-ish brain is being given some respite from that. I don't know about you, but something I've always, and this is why I'm behind on battles, and I'm happy. You know, I watched Gemini versus Bobby Rex last week. Fucking great. I wouldn't have appreciated it if I'd watched it on a 6 battle fucking binge on a Saturday afternoon, doing it for the sake of it. You know, I sat down and just soaked it in and got to rewind it and, you know, watch bits back. And yeah, it's just not for the sake of completionism. Yeah,
fucking hell, like that's the thing, like, because it is something that when you first get into this, you do want to consume everything. And then you've established that precedent of like fucking watching everything, and you're watching these fucking like 200 view leagues from fucking Alabama or whatever. And like what should we call it? You're trying to keep up with everything, and it gets really annoying really quick. Like, I mean, like fucking one of the greatest revelations of my life is just accepting that it's okay not to fucking finish things. Like fucking like fucking, I've been making a bit of music again, like fucking last couple of days, man. I never do that, like, because like fucking like I love writing stuff, I love making stuff. I hate doing all the shit you have to do to fucking finish things, and I fucking like, and like when it's finished, like fucking the idea of releasing something, absolutely not. Like fucking, like I just can't be asked. All I've got to do is like upload it to Ditto, and then I've got to tweet about it, and then I've got to post about it, and then I've got to sort out artwork, and then I've got to do all these things. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do the making bit, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Fucking maybe I'll release it. Maybe I'll fucking just make it 90 seconds long and release it straight to fucking Instagram.
I think that's a good approach, man. Like, I think, I don't know, with me, with stuff like that in life, I think it's been the opposite. You know, I don't think I've finished enough things. And it's only really now in the past sort of 3-4 years that I've been able to commit myself to things. And battle rap was a massive, you know, change in that. You know, it seemed like
it's a big influence in that, because like the one thing that battle rap has that fucking other creative pursuits don't is you have a fucking deadline.
Yeah.
Fucking like it doesn't fucking matter whether you can be arsed or not that particular day. You need a full new set of shit by a specific date.
Or as much as you can get. But yeah. Or you pull out and go play football with police officers.
I've got to say, that's fucking hilarious. Like, it's honestly the fucking funniest no-show of fucking... Since ATM claimed he was dead, Fuck it. You weren't around for that, were you? Like,
no, I wasn't. I've heard sort of. I've heard speakings of it, but give me the full unabridged story. I want to hear this.
Fucking ATM. I think he's on the Battle of the Bay card, actually. Like, fucking, like, he's no grind time guy. He was a proper wreckhead. Like, and he cracks me up. Like, fucking, like in his battle of with Star Eater. One of my favorite quotes is, "You're Star Eater. What kind of stars do you eat?" Like, I think one of his setups once was, "I'll run up in your house with a rucksack full of random shit." And like, he was a complete utter wreckhead, but like, he had a battle like a few years ago, no showed it. And he claimed that he'd actually died in a car accident. And like, he hadn't really looked into like fucking, I'd been dead like a minute, but he didn't really look into like fucking, like he said, like, he had no heartbeat for like no heartbeat and brain activity for like an hour and a half. And not many people come back from that outside of zombie movies.
No.
Yeah, and that they particularly aren't fucking out of the hospital on Facebook later that day. So it was a great day on Twitter. Fucking, I remember fucking Frankie Fraser and Real Deal being particular stars. Like, hey, who wants to jump on this fucking ATM tribute track with me? So far, I got me and ATM, and it was a fantastic day on Twitter.
It sounds like it. I miss them days. I love them days. You know, when the shit goes down and
it's funny shit.
It is. I mean, Robin HD, for example, Robin HD being discovered to have bitten Frisco's entire verse. That was great. What other ones have we had? Crisby's.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, shit. When my group chat got leaked, you know,
that was a pretty good day.
That was like fucking Watergate, mate.
Yeah, man.
I legitimately felt like Richard Nixon.
Yeah, he wasn't a criminal either.
No, he was not a crook.
He was not a crook. But fucking like, it's something I mentioned. The problem is like, fucking like, these funny events are fucking so good, but some people just like the outrage side of it, and fucking there is a whole side of people that are like, I talk about it in the fucking Danny Jack battle. Actually, it's what I segued into after my like. I think it's good you took that charity money. I pointed out that fucking like there was like fucking like couple of hundred people having a go at him in the forum, and they're all saying like, fucking, what have you done with our money? And then fucking I was like, hang on, it's 300 quid, and then BODs are £10 each. that means even if everyone who bought ones in this group, then 170 of you are lying.
Yeah, that's just the witch hunt consensus. It's everyone loves a witch hunt, and some people have a joke, and some people want to take it far. And you know, when I had that with the Watergate leaks of Beast Anglia's group chat, you know, genuine people going online and calling me a tramp and saying I besmirched the name of Prem and this, that, and the third. I was like, you don't know fucking anything.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a lot of these types of people are people who've like come to battle rap straight from wrestling, and they don't understand it. For one thing, even if you 100% said everyone involved in Premier Battle is a cunt and I hate Premier Battles, you said it in a group chat. That's where you're supposed to say it. You're not besmirching anyone's name in a group chat.
It's a private group chat, you know. Some people said things, you know, that's what it is. It's a forum for people to say things privately. Is, you know, there's about 23 of us in there. Probably about 9 of us, well, maybe, no, about 9 to 15 of whom who are active on Prem, who regularly battle on Prem, who enjoy battling on Prem. You know, me, for example, I love battling on Prem. You know, I've done all sorts, you know, to get on that platform, and you know, I will continue to battle on that platform. You know, I've ran events so they could get footage for the academy and nearly got strangled in the process. You know, that's a fucking story. But yeah, just some I don't even think they're fans. You know, I don't see these people at events. You know, they call me, you know, this, that, and the third. Okay, I've never met you, never have any interactions with you, and this is something that sort of, I don't think bothers me, but I find that sometimes people on the internet have too much to say, and they say, "Oh, you're battle rappers, you're this and that," and I went, well, "Yeah, we're battle rappers. We agree to say that to each other. You know, this is our deal. This is our agreement. You know, you don't have the right to call me a cunt on the internet, to call me this on a YouTube comment. You know, all right, you could."
In all fairness, that is what YouTube comments are for. YouTube comments have always been a hellscape, like.
Yeah, I know, but there's a few of them. You see the regulars pop up, like these Spyro Techs and the fucking nonce killers, and you know these people who you can't put a face to them because I think they're trolls. But it's just, I don't know. I think sometimes people get very carried away with themselves, and I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit soft.
It's one of those, like, I think, like, what we call it, you get desensitized after a while, but not everyone does get desensitized. And I forget, like, I'm fucking coming up to 100 battles here. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm fucking over 100 if you count all the shit that wasn't filmed or, like, fucking the footage got lost or whatever. And, you know, and, like, so at that point, like, it's like water off a duck. But I think about like there's been some genuinely talented people or like genuinely promising people that just couldn't make it past the stage of abuse that you have to get.
Yeah, and I'm sort of only at the stage now where I'll have a battle on, and you know there'll be 20 positive comments saying good performance, good battle, and not being drawn and dragged to that one person, and then, you know, just not losing my temper, but that sort of taking the precedence of my mental energy over, hey, 20 people saying, yeah, this is really good. You know, has taken me, you know, nearly 4 years to learn how to do that, you know.
Yeah. I think it's in like your second and third year is when you start really getting it. Because in your first year, like, fucking the only people who are checking for you are people who rate you. Like, it's the people who watch everything and the people who rate you that are checking for you. But like fucking it hits a certain point when you get to a bit of a higher level that fucking people who aren't checking for you and who aren't necessarily interested in your style, suddenly you're battling people they do follow, and suddenly it's a bit of who the fuck is this guy? Like fucking I used to only get love in my first like year and a half or whatever, but you know, as soon as I'm battling like Peace Soldier or something, I'm getting like fucking grime fans, like who the fuck is this guy and why is he singing Daniel Bedingfield? You know. So like I think that's like something that not a lot of people are prepared for, is that you don't really get the hate until your second and third year.
I mean, I get that completely, but for me, it was the opposite because I started on my own league, and you know, I was running events, you know, with my friends, you know, and you know, there's a 50 to 100 people there who are all there to support, and you know, it's being within our own circle and people who aren't necessarily connoisseurs of battle rap. You know, you going compliments, daps, this, that, and then going from Prem. And when I debuted on Prem, like, the scene was barren. You know, you were there at that event. It was the middle of lockdown. We were the only people battling. So all of a sudden, you know, everyone's watching me in my third battle because I'm the only thing that's being uploaded.
Yeah.
So go from this to literally 50 people going, this guy's shit. And you're like, what? I like the whole paradigm. I've gone from thinking I was really good to like, you know, I nearly quit after that. After that battle, we had that bloody, when you battled Dean and I battled Siri, I nearly quit after that. You know, I took I
He's
didn't, you know.
Hadn't he? Like that guy. He was kind of like trying to be like a Harry Baker kind of thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he still goes to events, but he just, for him, I think it was like a bucket list thing. He's not interested in doing it. Also, his occupation gets in the way. From what I've heard, his occupation gets in the way of doing it. You know, I work on a building site. I call people cunts for 45 hours a week. It doesn't matter if I do it, you know.
You'll probably get called into the office and they'll fucking start complaining like, fucking, you're doing all these rap battles. Why aren't you saying anything racist to them?
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. It's I wouldn't go that, but yeah, you know, it's 40-year-old.
I fucking love it when the fucking local people you drink with, when the local people you drink with suddenly, what should we call it? Like watch their first ever rap battle and it's one of yours, and they go, "This is what you should say," and it's literally something off a meme or something.
Yeah, it is that, or the other one is, how comes you're not fighting? That's the other one. How you let him say that to you? That's. But yeah, I always get advice from people. It's like, oh, why don't his mum's a slag or something like that? Suck his mum, or, you know, some really shit fucking, you know, just locker room banter. I was like, oh, I'll take that into consideration, mate. You know,
yeah,
there's a reason I do this, and there's a reason you spend your weekends doing 2 grams of Charlie, fucking playing pool and having a punch up.
This is it, man. This is it. It's a creative outlet, like, and fucking that's very difficult to explain to people who've never heard an insult in any other context.
It is. Yeah. And I find if you're more, I want to say, I don't know what the word is, but if you don't have that creative outlet, you know, I find it's very easy to explain the concept and show the concept to people who have, you know, that sort of open-mindedness, so whether it be a musician, a writer, or just someone who's more interested in, you know, that side of things, arts, literature and stuff, then, you know, sort of like your typical fucking, you know, geezer.
Yeah. When it's someone who understands fucking what it is to create, to put something together, to perform, and like what goes into it, it's a different fucking way of looking at it. Yo.
Yeah.
You're safe. Did your screen freeze then, or did you? Or
just briefly, mate.
Fucking, that was really, really confusing. Fucking hell. Yeah. Fucking, we are a movie podcast, even though, as I say, like, we're just having the casual ones. Have you seen anything good lately?
Oh, have I seen anything good? You know what? I have seen a couple of films recently, and it's one thing to the other. You know, so I went out with a lovely young lady, lovely young. Like, what the fuck's happened there? Sorry, just went on screensaver. I went out with a lovely young lady the other day, and we watched Barbie, which was quite an enjoyable film. Something I didn't think I'd enjoy, but I actually really, really loved it.
Yeah, fucking what do you call it? I had a feeling like Greta Gerwig would be the right person for that job.
It was. I'm not actually familiar with her work, but
yeah,
I was familiar with a lot.
I don't actually like a lot of her work, but I can recognize the talent. She gets shot in House of the Devil. I'm a big fan of that movie.
Yeah,
but like fucking, I'm like, okay, they're putting like some decent creative thought into this, like, so I see there's potential there. And so you say you've seen 2 films. So did you do the Barbenheimer double?
No, I didn't do the Barbenheimer double. I did Barbie, and then I came home the other night and watched Why Don't You Play in Hell, which is a Sion Sono film, who I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
I am not familiar. Break it down for me.
He's a Japanese director. I don't think he'll be directing anymore. I think he's actually in a lot of trouble at the moment. I think he's getting done for some sort of sexual harassment. He makes very, very abstract films. He made a 4-hour film about a guy who learned kung fu so he could upskirt girls or something like that. Just these weird, just mental films. He made another film called Cold Fish, which is a great.
Oh, I've seen Cold Fish. Cold Fish is very good.
It's a very good film. One of my favorite films. So that's what actually got me into Sion Sono's work, and I've just sort of, been meaning to go through his catalog. So I thought I'd stick this one on, which Why Don't You Play in Hell, which the synopsis of the film is essentially a group of young filmmakers.
Oh shit! Fucking hell! He's fucking
looking to make.
I've seen a few of his. Like he did Tag and all, and what should we call it? Suicide Club.
Yeah. He's, like I said, he's got quite a good body of work.
Yeah, fucking.
But this one is essentially, to put in a nutshell, is about a group of young videographers who start a gang war between rival Yakuza groups to make a good film. And it's fucking wild. It's just brilliant. It's just all.
Yeah, fucking. I'll give that one a go. Definitely, like, because fucking like it's the film he made before Tag. I was a very big fan of Tag. You there, La? Yo.
See, I haven't actually seen Tag yet. Like I said, I'm sort of just scratching the surface of body of work.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend Tag. I haven't seen it in ages. Like, fucking, I remember fucking like tracking it down. Like, what should we call it? Like, someone posted a GIF of the opening scene. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was not long out, and that was when Twitter was quite good, and you could just say, "Someone help me find this," and immediately someone found it, and fucking like. Me and Pete Cashmore like both watched it and fucking got back to each other and sort of discussed it. Like, miss Pete, man. Rest in peace to a legend. Aye, fucking, you're breaking up here, like, so. I think we should look at wrapping up fairly soon here.
Unfortunately, I never did.
Yeah. So, you said you got a battle coming up. What's that one?
Yes. Yeah. My internet's fucked. I do have 26th of August, clashing with your battle with Raz Renz. So, if you like me more, I'm at the Engine Rooms in, I'm assuming, North London.
Yeah, Bo. Great venue, the Engine Rooms.
It was Saturday, 26th of August. 12 p.m. Tickets are £10. Kick Nelly versus Savant.
Aye, cool. Yeah, your internet's dying off here now. So we'll leave it there.
I think there's delay.
Yeah, if people want to hit you up, it's at Kick Nelly on Twitter, isn't it? Yeah, you fucking gone, man. Okay, we'll cut it there. What should we call it? Cheers to Kick Nelly for guesting on the podcast. I am Kinell himself, and we'll be back next week with another Kinell Sinister Cinema. Peace.